Hi everyone, it's Chris Tuck here from West Wickham Health and Fitness. I just wanted to jump on here and explain to you all, because there seems to be a bit of confusion of to what I do, who I am and how I help people. So, cut a long story short, I became a fitness instructor in 2003 following a breakdown in my health, mental and physical health. And the last 17 years, I have chosen to pursue all things health and wellness in order to help myself get back to fitness, mentally and physically fit. So I help people in the local community get fit, both online because of COVID and face-to-face. So I do a bit of both. And I help people with their fitness, I help people with their nutrition, I help people with their lifestyles. So I help them get out of a rut, I help them move forwards in their lives. And how that came about, as I said, is in 2003, I changed careers from being an accountant, all day, every day, sitting down at a desk and using fitness to help me get over my own issues of anger, really, and to help me discharge all of those pent-up emotions that I had in my body because of childhood trauma. And a lot of people that I work with today, especially with my niche group, which is survivors of childhood abuse and recovery from trauma, we have all of this pent up anger and all kinds of emotions held in our bodies, chronic stress that we've holden on to because of what we've gone through as a child. So in 2013, I wrote my first book. As you saw on my Instagram post on the 1st of September, I celebrated 7 years of having spoken out for the first time and publishing my book on the 1st of September 2013. And it took me 18 months through a ghostwriter to actually be able to publish that book because I had to go into counselling in order for me to deal with all of the emotions that came up for me. So again, to cut a long story short, in 2016, I founded my own charity, Survivors of Abuse, and since then I've been helping adult survivors of childhood trauma recover their lives, their mental health, their physical health, their spiritual health. And I run through the charity 8-week groups that follow my Cleaner Living therapy program, which looks at big rock stress, little rock stress, looks at the role of nutrition, hydration, sleep and mindset in the recovery from childhood trauma. And I just use my own experiences for that. Every single survivor of childhood trauma will recover in a different way. So what will work for one person will not work for another. However, there are always parallels and there is always learning from one person's story to the next. Or if you don't like the word story, your lived experiences. So every single human being has a backstory, has a lived experience that if it's shared will help somebody else on their road to recovery, whatever that looks like for them. So I work every day tirelessly to raise awareness about the impacts of childhood trauma, of living in a domestic violence household, of going through mental, physical and sexual abuse, and how that impacts not only your mental and your physical health over time, but how you live your life can impact you negatively or positively. So there are a lot of things that we can do as survivors of childhood trauma or trauma from going through bullying as a child or adolescent or a young adult, or even being an adult survivor of domestic violence. At the end of the day, trauma is trauma, and it impacts the brain in the same way, but each one of us will respond to trauma in different ways. Some of us look like we are coping better than others, but that's not the case. Every single person in this world responds to things differently. Some look like they cope better than others, some not so. But every one of us is an individual, and every single one of us should not be judged on how we do lead our lives. But if we find personally that we are stuck, that we don't like the life that we have, or we are unhappy in the life that we are living, then we can choose to take some action to get ourselves out of the situation that we find ourselves. And that's where the empowerment comes, the self-empowerment. Looking at where you are in your life right now, looking at how you got there, looking at what you want from your life, and what steps do you need to take to get yourselves from where you are to where you want to be. And we all have that in us to decide as adults what we want to do today, tomorrow, in the next 5 years. Now, many survivors of childhood trauma are told that they're no good, that they're not worthy, that they're not deserving. And this breaks my heart, but it is the norm for most of us. And when you hear that day in, day out, and that's followed up by some form of violence or control through sexual abuse, for example, you believe that to the core of your being. And when you believe that, you don't actually realize that you have choices in life, that you have a potential, that you have the ability to achieve, until someone tells you that actually what you've gone through doesn't necessarily define you or the rest of your life. So I'm telling you today that you do have the ability to achieve. You do have the choice to live your life how you want. It might not seem like it for some of you right now, but if someone is out there saying to you, your life doesn't need to be like it is right now, right this moment, you can leave the situation, you can change your situation, but you might not know how, and you might not know what you want from your life. Be it health, be it wellness, be it freedom, be it leaving a toxic relationship, be it working on yourself because you are stuck in your own toxic relationship with yourself. The choice for you to change that is there. You just need to reach out to somebody or follow someone that has already done it and find a way for yourself. And, you know, most people need help and support. I've had lots of help and support in my life, and I will carry on seeking help and support whenever I need it, because it's invaluable. So just hear today that you don't have to remain where you are. If where you are is unhappiness, is being stuck, is being told what to do day in, day out, that doesn't have to be your life. Please remember that. Okay, So back when I was 16, I was told by somebody that was more aware of the world that I could become anything I wanted. I could do anything I wanted. And back then I was like, really? And she said, what do you want to do with your life? And at 16, most 16-year-olds don't know. All I knew at that time was I needed to get out of the toxic household that I lived in. And I knew that if things didn't change, that I would do something that I would regret. I was a raging teenager on the inside, but on the outside, I was very calm and collect, but very aloof and very socially distant from people because I didn't trust them. I have been brought up in 3 different households where there was domestic violence, mental abuse, physical abuse, and in some of them, sexual abuse. So I knew no different. And when someone said to me, what do you want to do? You can be whoever you want to be and you can achieve whatever you want. I was very skeptical. But when she actually sat down and worked through with me my college application, and she got me funding, and she was able to show me the way, that's when I really, really realised that there could be a different life. And that's the life I've been chasing since the age of 16. And I've had my ups and I've had my downs, and every survivor will tell you that they've gone 3 steps forwards and 5 steps back. Just expect that, and then it won't be such a letdown when that does happen to you. But as long as you're making progress, as long as you're making those steps forwards, and you can see a change, you look back over the years. That's why I celebrated so hard on the 1st of September with all of my Instagram posts, because it was really important to me to mark how far I have come, how many people have helped, including myself, my family, my friends, and survivors that have come into my life. It's really important to mark those milestones. And to some people it might have come across as I was bragging. Nah, not me. I'm down to earth. I don't really like putting myself out there. And some days I really feel like I can't put myself out there because how I'm feeling. And I don't want to bring other people down. I want to actually present to the world that you can just take a step and things will be okay, because eventually they will be okay. They just will. That's how life works. You learn that there are these down times, but from a down time there is always an up, always. So let's celebrate those up times. Let's get through the tough times and let's help each other do that. So, as said, it can become very, very heavy. So my life on a day-to-day basis is very busy. It's very varied. And the only constant in my everyday is that I get up and I do some exercise. Whether it be first thing in the morning or like today, I will be doing Pilates at 9:30 and 60 plus or ease into fitness at 10:30. So I walk every day and I also do some fitness every day, because what that does, it sets me up, it calms down my central nervous system, it helps me with my weight management, it helps me with my mental focus, and it helps with just me being able to carry on with everything that I do. So, as I said, a bit heavy at times, but I thought I'd come on and explain to everyone what is it that I do and who am I. I'm a very complex person, like most of us, but I truly believe in health and wellness. I truly believe in good nutrition, doing movement every day, some form of physical activity, and I believe that we all have the ability to be and do what we want in life. There will be struggles. We all have them. We all have relationships. We all have families. We all have money worries at different times. And we all have blocks that get in the way. But if you sit down and work out where you're going in your life, what you want from your life, and how you're going to get there, and what help you need, you can start taking some of those blocks out of the way and achieving what it is you want to achieve. So what I would like to leave you with is the fact that I've changed careers, I've got rid of toxic relationships, I have lots of ups, lots of downs, but as long as I'm moving forward, as long as I feel like I am the best version of me I can be, and as long as I treat everybody in this world like I want to be treated, then I'm doing good. I'm okay with the world. All right. There's lots of anxiety around at the moment. There's lots of stress around. But the best way that you can deal with that is just to do your best. Make sure you carve out some time for yourself every day. Make sure that you work on the relationships that are important to you, and put your boundaries in place in order for you to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. And that's not being selfish. That's about putting on your own oxygen mask before you put on or help other people. Because if you don't look after yourself, if you are not the fittest you can be mentally and physically, you cannot look after other people in your life as effectively if you are ill. Okay, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. And when I was on my knees, when I went through my breakdown, my breakthrough, I was still expected to get up and do everything, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't manage it. So I had the downtime, I had the healing, I had the help, I had the support, and then I got back up and I got back into my own life, but things had to change. And I had to make those changes in order for me to be able to do what I was doing at the time. And then I've built on that over the years. So if you want to read about what I do, then I have 3 books out on Amazon or on my website that you can look at what I have gone through, look how I have changed, and look to see if any of that could be of any benefit to you or anyone in your life. Okay. All right. So the first book was called Through the Eyes of the Child, which is my autobiography, and I will be writing another one because of lots happened since 2013. I've written a self-help book for survivors that takes a holistic approach to recovery, which looks at mindset, nutrition, fitness, sleep, hydration, lifestyle choices, and it does it from a survivor's perspective. I have written a book called Parenting Without Tears, which basically comes from the perspective again of a survivor and then becoming a parent. How do we break the cycle of everything that has held us back to be the best parent that we can be, so that we don't pass the trauma on to our future generations. And I work now in the community, both online and face-to-face, without bringing any of my backstory or my lived experiences into that. I'm just a health and wellness coach that helps people move forwards and be the best versions of themselves they can be, mentally and physically and emotionally fit for their everyday lives. So there you go. That's who I am. That's what I do. And if I can help any of you, please contact me, get in touch, and we see what we can do to move you forwards. All right then, guys, thank you for listening, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now.